And I'm going to mute everyone. Okay. So, welcome to our team call, you guys. It's July 16th. I can't even believe it. I feel like this year is like totally flying by. But I'm appreciative that all you guys are here. I just figured in the beginning I would give a couple of announcements and shout some people out, and then we would get started. So, the kind of announcements for this month are like one, today was the start date of our Lift 4 Challenge group. It is on sale through the end of the month. So don't feel like if you didn't get started yet that you can't add to it or bring other people into it with you. I think it's a really great time to kind of circle back with anyone who is in the Lift 4 launch party or anyone in your life who said, I don't want to do workouts with you. I've got a gym or something I do a couple days a week, or anyone who's a runner, or even maybe like just wants to not feel consumed by a workout program. It's really cool so far. I'm on day 2. I know a lot of people started today. And the nice thing about it is the flexibility that you have built into it. So definitely keep people in mind. I think I've kind of reached back out to a lot of old people with it and had some excitement around it because our programs can be somewhat intimidating. Another thing is, I think what we're going to do for like a general challenge group is starting on the 30th, we're going to do like a Miracle Morning theme challenge group. We did this last year in October, and it was like a Slay the Day group, and Nicole's excited. I think a lot of people really responded well to it because the personal development aspect of it is like really simple. It just gives you like a daily task list to do each morning. And I felt like it was a group where our challengers were super engaged. So for like the going back to school time and the trying to get like a set structure again after the summer, this will be a really cool time to start it. And we can do like the whole first week is prep week, and it goes through the savers of Miracle Morning, and then actually start the week after. So like people can be invited up to that or after, like whatever works is totally fine. And we can use that in lieu of the Pay It Forward group that we have. And then the only other thing really is the Beat Your Best is going on this month. So I'm not sure if anybody's been receiving emails from Beachbody. I know I have, and it said, this is what your best Success Club numbers have been. Here's how many coaches you've had hit Success Club. And the goal is to really just beat that number. And they have different medals that they're giving out for it. They have different medals they're giving out if you have more of your coaches that hit Success Club than you've ever had before, too. So it's a really good goal to set for yourself this month to maybe just outdo what you've done in the past. And I think that really is kind of a good segue for tonight's call. So I entitled this call like from coach to CEO in 24 hours. And I had in my mind in the beginning that I was going to talk about like going emerald and all these things that we talk about all the time. And I don't know what it was, but like over the last week or so, I've kind of felt like something was kind of weighing on me that maybe we should just take a step back and maybe do something a little more personal on the call. And I want to do something that and I guess maybe it was the Rachel Hollis call that kind of spurred this in me, because I do feel like, I asked the team about the fears that we have. I feel like the theme of Summit was Believe in You. This call was all about like, working on your mindset and feeling confident in what you have to offer as a person and as a coach. And I think that that is something maybe that could be like what we all maybe need. I think that the limiting beliefs are always with us. I think that doing personal development each day helps us manage them, but it doesn't make them go away. And the few things that Rachel Hollis talked about in her call was like, one, sales. Like, you guys, we are in sales. Like, I know there's a fear of being salesy, but like if you're going out there and you're really being yourself, you can't say, I think Molly might have said this earlier, but you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you never know who has been like a fly on the wall watching you throughout this process. Or if you haven't been putting yourself out there at all, you don't know who you could help yet. So I feel like that would like be something that I kind of want to focus on tonight. And I want to start with saying a few things that she said, Rachel Hollis said in her call. And if you haven't read Girl Wash Your Face yet, I would highly recommend it. She's coming out with a book next year called Girl Stop Apologizing. Sounds like it's going to be pretty phenomenal too. But she is just like spot on with kind of just female empowerment and like telling you to be you and to really own that. But something that she said was, and this totally applies, like, I think, to coaching for the people that are so scared to put themselves out there, they just never do it. She says, we make ourselves smaller so we don't make others uncomfortable. When we make ourselves smaller, though, we make our impact smaller. And I think that's huge. Like, if you're letting fear hold you back from doing the things, your impact is going to be minimized, and you don't know who needs you out there. And I know that that sounds cheesy and it might sound like touchy-feely or whatever, but it's the truth. You don't know who's struggling with anxiety. You don't know what postpartum mom out there like is crying in her closet today. You don't know who just has lost it at their kids because their stress levels are super high. You don't know who's going through that really tough thing at their job. And the more you put that out there, the more you connect with people that are going through those things with you. And that's a really powerful thing. She says, when you live more fully, when you live unapologetically, when you embrace the desires on your heart, you give other people the permission to do the same thing. And that is super empowering. And that's kind of the ripple effect of this. And I kind of want to talk about that because I feel like, if we kind of work through whatever it is that's holding us back, it allows us to make more of an impact on others. And it helps us work on ourselves, which is obviously the first priority in being here. So I went through this exercise. The first night at Summit, I paid for this training, and it was like a leadership-driven training. And it was a very powerful training, and I wanted to maybe kind of reenact what I did there with you guys as a way to just kind of like put the walls down a little bit. And this is going to be like uncomfortable for some people, but I just feel like, a lot of us have our whys for being here. A lot of us have our purpose for being here, but a lot of us don't remind ourselves of that each day enough to drive us to do the things. And we let life happen to us rather than kind of like taking control of life. And so I thought this would be helpful, especially the fact that it's like halfway through the year. I think it starts to take a toll on us. We maybe lose sight of what we wanted to do at the beginning of the year, like maybe physically, maybe with our business. And I think this is something that could be really powerful, maybe to help you kind of reset intention. So we went through this series of like 4 questions, and I was hoping what we could do is kind of just go around and do the same thing here. And this training was all about like the very first step, like you figuring out what you want out of your life. And I don't mean as a Beachbody coach at all. Yes, this can be the vehicle to make any of those things happen, but I mean, like, what do you really want out of life? And where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Like, I'm not talking forever, but like, what are your goals for the next 5 years? And that's where we're going to start, because I think that the next few pieces will make this make sense. But I think that, we talk about monthly goals and we talk about Success Club, but ultimately, what's your vision for your life? That is the most important thing. And I think what I'd like to do is just kind of get started and talk about it. And I don't know if anybody wants to volunteer to go first. Stacy?
I'll go. Okay. So in 5 years, I don't even want to talk about what age my kids will be. But so I see myself definitely, feeling way more confident about myself, which I've already had, but just, not, just living my life for me and my family, a lot more. And I see myself, having my student loans taken care of. I see, my car paid off by then. Hopefully, just like the financial some freedoms taken care of. And I see, I know you weren't really saying just like Beachbody stuff, but like I definitely see myself like in, higher digits for sure with income there. And I wrote some of these down myself, like when I wrote my yearly goals. But, and just having, higher rankage with Beachbody. And, more like stronger friendships and bonds with a lot of y'all and whoever else to come on our team and my team and stuff like that. I guess that's it that I can think off the top of my head right now, for sure. But yeah, I think so.
Thank you. I think too, I should have said, like, this is like don't even think about any limiting factor in any of this. It's just, if you could have whatever it would be, what would it be? And so I think, does that change anything you said, Stacey?
I mean, depends on really how detailed y'all want to get. I mean, our house would have more modifications and updates done to it. I mean, kind of, I don't know where all we want to go with this on what could be done in 5 years.
Well, I'll tell you, like, when I did this, the first person told me that, or said in the group, that she wanted to live in an RV with her family and completely be off the grid and like whatever. So it's like whatever you want. She's a coach. Yeah, she is. And then the next person said that every female in her family had passed away of breast cancer, and she was probably going to pass away as well, and talked about the life she wanted to create. So everyone in the room was like in tears at this point. And I'm over here like, I want to live at the beach. So it can be anything. Like, I think that that's the thing about this, like kind of, it'll have a point at the end. And there's 4 steps. So this is just the first step. So does somebody else want to go next? Molly? You don't have noise. Molly, you always have a volume issue.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, unmuted. Yay. So I, like Stacey, secondarily think of like all the things I want to do with my house. Like, that would be amazing. But really, what I want out of life is I want to be more positive. I want to be more happy, and I want to be more glass half full. And I feel like, being involved in all of these groups and with y'all has really, really helped me with that. I fall back onto negativity so easily. And I know a lot of you can identify, but it helps me to kind of dial back in and really try to stay positive and see things like that. Everything happens for a reason. And, this season of life is this season of life. And like, I have to tell y'all, I went to church yesterday. Today's Monday, right? Yes, yesterday. And I came home and I was like, David, I think the priest was talking to me. He was like, what do you mean? And I was like, everything he was saying, like, applied to me. And I was like, I just want to be in that space where I'm like so much happier. And this really helps me. But I think for the next 5 years, I'd love to be able to pay down the massive amount of student loan debt that I have. I'm not saying like get rid of it completely, but like goal to pay it down some, because unfortunately I haven't had that opportunity. I don't make that much money, so I have not been able to pay my student loans yet. So I would like to be able to pay down, some amount, no matter how much it is, and just like feel a sense of accomplishment there. I'd like to have some more financial freedom. I'd like to not live paycheck to paycheck. And, I'd like to be able to say like, hey, let's go away for the weekend and not worry about it. And then, really like, I just want to be happy. I want to be healthy. Hopefully I'll be married and hopefully I'll have kids, I'd like that. But that's where I see myself in 5 years, is happier, healthier. And then, hopefully David will put a ring on it. And hopefully we'll have kids if that's in the plan, if that's meant to be. We have our 2 little precious angels dogs, but, I think I want to be a happier person, and I think I'm on the way there. So.
Yay. Yeah, I like that a lot. Mine was like, I don't ever want to feel anxiety again.
Yeah, that's a big one. I'd like to get off my anxiety medication, but
Yeah, I'll tell you what I said too. I basically said debt-free. I want to live at the beach. I want more time with family. I would like to travel more regularly, like just whenever we want to. I'd like to take like a mission trip maybe as a family. I'd like to go to like at least one personal development conference a year. I want to like start each day super zen and have quiet time. And I want to have like deep, meaningful connections, be debt free, obviously, no student loans, and then like be creating a legacy, not just solely worried about how to get rid of our debt. Like, how am I creating something for someone?
Yeah.
And then date night. So those are mine. If that helps as we move forward too. And I said no anxiety.
Yeah.
Obviously. Who wants to go next?
One day.
Yeah, right. I do feel better not drinking, though. I will say that, Molly. All right.
Hey, Sarah, I can go next.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, perfect. All right. 5 years. I want to grow in my relationship.
Nicole. Is she frozen or
Yes,
not?
ma'am.
Okay. I can hear you now.
So I think I have to I can't see anything when I'm talking because in order to unmute it, hold on. Am I muted again?
You're good.
No? Okay, good. All right. So in 5 years, I want to grow in my relationship with the Lord. That is something I've been thinking about quite a bit lately, and I want to really invest more time in. I want to be more confident in the business side of Beachbody. I feel like I've developed in the last year more confidence in sharing socially and really sharing what I'm doing from a fitness and health perspective. But from a business side, definitely want to grow in that. And debt-free, grow my investments. So I definitely want to see my 401k go up or my brokerage account, whatever that looks like. And I really kind of identified with Molly too, of just overall coming across and being more positive and focusing more on the glass half full. So those are what I would like to see in the next 5 years.
Awesome. Thanks, lady. Who's next? On the chopping board. Okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to rack my brain, but probably the first thing would be to be more financially stable, because Josh and his business with the deli is it's kind of a mess right now. But like that, I just want us to be more financially stable and like kind of have a game plan, I guess, for our future. And pay off all of our debt, or at least be heading in that direction. I would want my marriage to be a lot stronger than it has been over the last probably 4 or 5 years. Let's see, just to be a happier person and healthier, which I think I'm kind of heading in that direction. It's a lot better than it's been. What else? In my 40s, probably. I don't think I'll be there in my 30s, but maybe start saving and try to travel more, because we love to travel and be able to take the kids like on big trips. That's, because we've always loved going to the Caribbean, and I'd like to be able to take them and do that with them too. I guess just grow. I think I really want to, work this business and, grow and work to inspire more people. And just the few people that I've been connecting with, I do feel like I'm making a difference, and inspiring people. So that just feels good. It makes me feel good that I'm helping other people. So just continue doing that. I think that's it that I can think of right now.
Those are great. Grow your Lily Pulitzer collection.
Yeah. No, I probably need to stop getting that. even though my husband got me a nice gift card to get me some more Lily, I was like, seriously?
I saw that.
But I know.
Kelly, you look like you want to say something.
In 5 years, I would like to be wrinkle free. I don't know if that's possible. No, just kidding. I don't know. Really, what Molly said resonated because, I mean, that's what I was thinking. I can be really negative and pessimistic. Sometimes to like my friends and stuff like that, they might not see that, but I am. So that's just something I'm working on. And I love these groups because I think it's really helpful. And obviously, just like having people be like, you need to do your personal development is really helpful for keeping me positive and just motivated to, work on my self-care. I mean, 5 years from now is going to be, my life is going to obviously look a lot different because that'll be when Maddie is 6 years old. So it'll be when I'm really making some probably big decisions as to, I don't know, maybe Beachbody will have taken off and I'll have done well between now and then. And I'll really have, really been able to grow my business. Or maybe it'll be something that I am doing and possibly thinking about doing something else too. That'll probably be at a point where I'm at possibly looking at going back to school. I don't know. It's kind of tough. I mean, financial wise, we'll probably want to be paying off a house, but we don't know where we'll be. We may be in Cincinnati. We might be somewhere else. Who knows? And then, I don't know. Those are kind of the big ones, is that I'd possibly be facing school. I mean, five years from now too, I'd obviously like to have my walk with the Lord be closer, just because I should grow every year. Marriage stronger, just because it should be stronger 5 years from now. And that I'll be a wiser, more patient mother, because as we grow older, we should grow wiser. So, and a better friend, and maybe better sister, better daughter. We'll see. That's about it.
I feel like you should have your own Food Network cooking show on your list or something.
I really want to, and I use
You're supposed to be saying what your dreams are here, Kelly, not being so practical.
I use my Facebook Healthy Mama Recipe thing as a cooking channel right now.
Hey, if that's your dream, go for it. They do that next Food
Those
Network.
poor people.
I would totally vote for you on there.
Was
that show, the next Food Network
that
star?
would be so cool.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Vote, please?
I should do it.
If that's what you
Let's
like.
go on as a team.
If they'll let us.
Yeah.
We can make a mean egg roll in a bowl, apparently.
Yes.
Okay, let me just do his movie real quick. Can I hold that, please?
For real, Kelly, in another life, I would be a Food Network chef. I want to be Trisha Yearwood so badly. If you don't watch her show, you don't know. And you should start. That's all I'm saying.
Sorry, guys.
Molly, you already kind of look like her. You just need red hair.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
She loves tiny kitchen appliances too. We're kindred spirits. I'm telling y'all. These are the things that excite me in life.
Doesn't take much, right?
No, not a lot. It really doesn't.
Who wants to go next? I think
What was the question?
Like-
I was late.
Yeah, if you could have anything in your life 5 years from now, what is it going to look like?
Yeah, okay, so I'll go next. 5 years from now, gosh. I feel like this is obviously a recurring thing, debt-free, more financial freedom. I don't know, my life has changed a lot in the last couple of years. And when I look back to, like, obviously the person I am now is so much better. And so I want to continue that. I want to continue to grow personally. As far as financially, you know, our financial situation changed, and I want to like get back to being more comfortable, you know, like where you don't have to, you know, budget everything out. I'm just tired of that, over it. So, but I would like to see that being done by not like having to like leave my family every day. Not necessarily be a stay-at-home mom per se, because, you know, although I do, there are parts of me that does enjoy it. Like I also need like more of my time, because you know, like the kid back there like screaming at food. So anyway, but hold on.
27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
So definitely that. And then I don't know. I mean, I just want to be a lot more comfortable in my life, and I want to be happy, and I want to not care so much, not always have in the back of my head like, what are other people going to think? Because that's like a really big one for me. And I can tend to be, like a lot of you said, I can tend to be negative too, you know, and kind of a naysayer. And so I'd like to work on that. I think that's like kind of the big picture thing more. I'd love to travel a lot more and be able to bring my family along and grow my marriage and spend more like quality time with my husband.
Mama,
And
why did it say name?
I think that's it for now. I mean,
Mom,
I'm
why
sure
did
if I
it
had
say
some time, I
name
could sit down and,
right
you know, make a long list, but right off the top of my head.
Cool. Thank you.
Mommy, why does it
Thank
say
you.
name brush right here?
Lynn, Amber, who wants to go next?
I'll go. Let's see. 5 years, I hope that we are at a place where we have a toddler by then, I guess, and continue to grow our cattle farm and have more cattle and maybe be somewhere where we're all around the place. Probably will still be where I am as far as like career-wise, but definitely be hopefully paying down my student loan debts or closer to having those forgiven. Let's see. Grow in my faith, more active in church, I guess, a little more active in some things that we're kind of working on now, and hopefully growing in my marriage, and let's see, continuing to be healthier and making healthier choices. So that's about it.
Maybe they can do the cooking show at your farm.
Yeah, I'd love to eventually have an event center, but that's like probably 15, 20 years down the road.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amber, I know you're probably full of ideas now.
I was gonna be a smart aleck and say in 5 years I'd love to figure out how to get my Lyft 4 to show up, because I can't figure out how to access it. That's what I've been doing the whole time listening to y'all, is I can't get it to pull up, or I can't find it. So
Are you on the website or the app? I just texted you.
yeah,
back.
Courtney was like messaging me. Well, I went through the app. Sorry, this is so off topic, but I went through the Beachbody On Demand like through my iPad, and I thought that's where it would be. So now I'm confused, but I'll figure that out in a minute. Gosh, okay, 5 years from now. I'm listening to all of you guys and all of the practical things that people want in 5 years, and I think it's kind of a given with finances, and if you're religious, religion, all those things. But then it just kind of hit me once Lynn was done talking. I was like, in 5 years, whether this is selfish or not, I would love to be with me and my kids and my husband traveling across Europe. Only simply because I want to see it. I want to see the history of the world. I want them to see it. I want to experience those things. There's so many places over in Europe I would love to see. I'd love to go to Italy, Venice, Greece, all of those things. Like, I would love to do that. I haven't even been to the west side of my own country. So, heck, Disneyland, not world, Disneyland, just, that worry-free type of, hey, let's just go do this and experience things and then do good in the process. I'd love to be able to just go somewhere and see someone struggling and be like, here, and not have to worry about how much I have in my bank account. Let me see if I can do that without taking away from my family. I would love to be in that position. Selfishly, I want to feel good. Selfishly, I don't want to take anxiety meds. Selfishly, I don't want to worry about the silliest of things and convince myself of something I know is not true,
Those are
selfish. I'd love for my daughter to pin herself in the rocking chair right now. Like for real. Can y'all see her? Like, come on, seriously. But that's my 5 years from now.
I don't think that's selfish. I think that's awesome. Okay, well, thanks for sharing. Courtney, since you jumped on last, you're last. So I asked everybody, and we're gonna there's a point to this, but if you could just do whatever in the next 5 years, what does your life look like? No limitations. Sorry about that. Wait. Maybe a UPS guy or something. You could go. I'll mute.
I would love, we're actually on vacation now in Charleston. I think I would love to have a vacation home for my family. And then a lot like Amber said, I would love to tour Europe. So definitely traveling.
Stop.
And then just a lot like Amber, just being able to give and not have to worry about the day-to-day expenses or the day-to-day bank account. So definitely financial stuff. I would love more traveling and more just free giving and just, I guess, more relaxation and worry of financial kind of stuff. I don't know, and maybe even not have to work. I would love to do that while my kids are little. That's it. Over and out. My kids are wild. I'm going to mute myself.
All right, lots of distraction. Sorry. Okay, thanks for sharing. I think all these are really amazing, and I will tell you exactly what I was told at this training because I fully believe it. That the things that you say, while in your mind you're thinking this is just a dream and this is not a possibility. You get to write your own story. You get to create what happens in your life. You get to wake up every single day and write the scripts, right? You are your own narrator, basically, to these things. And while you might say these things in your mind, it sounds like that's a fluffy dream or whatever. Any of these things are totally possible. And I think basically putting them out there at first is one of the big first steps. And I kind of want to move into the next piece of it, which is, I think, a little bit where maybe our team is struggling just based on some of the feedback I have received lately. But the next part is what is your one limiting belief that's holding you back from these things? What is the thing every day that's eating you up inside that's preventing you from taking action? Whatever is maybe paralyzing you, or whatever is maybe like you get started on it and you pull yourself back, or whatever the thing is that you think you're not good enough to do, or whatever it is to receive these things. And I'll tell you what I said, and I've told the ladies that came to Summit this, but and this sounded so ridiculous to me as I was thinking it or saying it, but the one thing in my mind was that if I am successful, I will die. And this is ridiculous to most, but basically with my history with my dad, I watched him grow a really, successful business. He told me what his income was. Things were going great. And the next thing I knew, he was like losing his house, being put in jail, on the street, doing drugs, and then he died. And all those things to me are like somehow, for some reason, lumped together with success. And so in my mind, as much as I want these things that I just said, I hold myself back in a way because I feel like if I go after that, then maybe something self-sabotaging like that will happen to me. And so that is super extreme. I'll give you some ideas of what other people said, just to kind of like maybe trigger some things for you. But like a few things were like, 1, I don't deserve it. 2, I'm not a leader. 3, like I'm not worthy. That was a big one for a lot of females. 4, I don't have the time. Like that's kind of a limiting belief, even though it might sound more like an excuse. Like 5, I feel like kind of a fraud or something, like putting myself out there. I'm not good on social media. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. Like whatever these things are, I just want you to tell like maybe what your number 1 is. And then we're going to like in step 3, kind of go through it and flip it on its head a little bit. So who wants to go first?
I guess
Well,
I'm sorry.
no, you go ahead.
Real quick. Mine that I'm probably not likable and that people wouldn't trust me.
Who was that?
Kelly.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh, so not true.
She already doesn't believe you. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Well, I think mine is fear of not being able to handle it all. Like if I do become more successful, that maybe the stress would outweigh and the responsibility would maybe outweigh the reward part / crap. Sarah said it and then it just left my brain.
Like self-sabotage thing?
Maybe. But yeah, I think that's probably my biggest one. Oh, I'm not a leader. That's one of the things back in the back of my head.
Okay. Anyone want to go next?
Okay. Mine is just always, and I still fight with it, even though I'm much, much better, is caring what other people think. And like, or just like really honestly, like just feeling silly sometimes. Like, I just have, your boo-boo feels better. I just have like a hard time like thinking too much about like feeling silly taking this picture somewhere, or making this post, that it's silly, even though like I know what it does for others and for me. And it all still, boils down to what other people think and stuff. So that's like always been my biggest. Even though I've gotten much, much better, I still have a little ways to go.
I'll go next. Oh, sorry. All right. I was gonna say that like people won't take me seriously because of the type of business that this is. That they don't think it's a real thing, and why would I try to pursue something like this when I can like fall back on my professional like training and where I could get paid, as much money as what this potentially could, but more easily,
Mine's pretty much kind of like Stacy's. I just feel like I'm not that people don't take me serious, or I'm scared of what they're going to say. Like, I guess what other people are saying about me, you know, that what's she doing? So that's probably my biggest, you know, limiting factor.
So I'll go next. I think for me, I agree a lot with Courtney in the I can't handle it, meaning like I get into it, I get started, I get going, and then I'm like, oh, this is scary, this is new. I'm probably going to screw it up, so I should probably back off. And I think for me, that's something I've actually discovered this year and kind of pushing further into Beachbody that I do that I did not realize I did. So that's mine.
I'll go if no one's going. My thing is, it kind of goes to with the cool people not taking you seriously, but in my case, I've tried so many other things that I kind of can't blame people for, like, oh God, what is she trying to sell me now? Because I've tried Premier Design jewelry. I've tried Avon so many times. I've tried, I'm losing track of what I've tried. I tried doTERRA with the oils, and I love those, you know, don't get me wrong. But so I've tried a lot of things. So when I come at people, I don't blame them really for being like, okay, whatever. And I've actually here lately tried to get myself to stop saying, okay, I know this might sound corny, but it's joining Beachbody has just been great. I'm learning so much about myself. I stopped saying, I know this might sound corny. I start saying, I've joined this and it's so much more. I'm learning so much more about myself. And I've learned that if I take myself seriously, then other people are going to start taking me seriously. So, until I fully believe it, and until I, go at this with the utmost sincerity, and I can't be afraid to be rejected. If I really believe it, eventually they will see it, and if they need it, they'll come and seek it out. So that's it. Oh, and I got it working, by the way.
I guess I'll go. Mine are kind of repetitive. But I mean, definitely that, like, I won't, like, I'm not legit enough. I'm not authentic enough, and I'll fail. And then, definitely the I don't have time thing. Because like many of us, work full time. And my schedule changes day to day, so I just feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, there's no way I can make this work, which is just bullshit because I play around on my phone all the time. There's no way I can't make it work. And I know that, but it's still, and then like my other big thing I think is like, you have so many other things to be successful, like to be proud that you're successful at. Like, you graduated from law school, you have this great job, but it doesn't fulfill me. And so I think like disconnecting from that, like, this is my expectation of success versus this is just my job, and then this is what I can do to be successful. I think that's like my biggest limiting belief, is that I have to have this job that defines me. And I know I've talked to some of y'all about that, but I think that's my biggest thing. So to keep it short.
Did we lose? Lynn, do you want to go?
Yeah, I think mine is just feeling like people are just not going to want to buy it or not want to spend the money on it, or sorry, the cat's kind of like grabbing onto stuff. So we, just that, and then people not necessarily taking it very seriously, and the time thing, and then which is, I mean, I'm on my phone all the time, but it's just, and I think a lot of it with me is I feel like I pretty much, family law, you have to do a lot of hand holding, and it's very, very emotionally draining. So sometimes it's really hard to try to like really talk to people and connect to people, because really the last thing I want to do is talk to more people by the time I get home. I even want to talk to the husband sometimes. So I think that's part of my big hang up too, is just, having time to consistently really reach out to people and actually want to reach out to people and talk to them.
Okay. All right. So the last part of this is where like we kind of have to take these things and like flip them around a little bit, right? And I think the general themes can be like summed up in like 5 or 6 points. Like 1 is time, 2 is judgment, 3 is failure, 4 is leader, 5 is like authenticity or like being accepted, and then 6 is probably like the legitimacy of this as a job. And it didn't necessarily have to be a limiting belief about Beachbody, but I think that the thing that I hear is that these limiting beliefs that we have are preventing us from doing this thing. And this is maybe a thing, like clearly you guys are all invested in to be here on a call and talk about it. So you want it to happen, but like what's holding you back from maybe like fully making it happen? And I think honestly, for almost everyone, it's a limiting belief that keeps us from doing the thing that could get us that life that we want to have in 5 years. And I'm not, again, like, you don't have to come in here and want to be the world's best Beachbody coach. So I'm not trying to just talk about that. But I do think the thing worth realizing is this could be your vehicle to get that. When you see those people who post those income posts of $20,000 a month and they did it in 3 years or 5 years, and you think that's not possible for me, that's more your limiting belief, because anything's really possible for you if you want it and if you want to make it happen. So I think the things to kind of like talk about are how to turn these limiting beliefs into like maybe an affirmation that you can say each day. And this is where people probably get a little like, what is an affirmation and what do you want me to do? But the thing is like, you have to train yourself to believe that it's possible. And the best way to do it is to retrain your brain, right? And then you're actually going to take action to make it happen. And this can be with anything in your life. This is why people tell you to create a vision board. I can tell you like half the things on this vision board that I put together at the beginning of the year have like partially come true at this point. And I'm wondering in my mind, is it because I put it out there and I said I wanted it and I then did the action? Or is it because like I'm making, these decisions because I know I put it on my vision board? But it doesn't really matter. It's happening, and there are things at the beginning of this year that I said that I want. So I think I just want to give like a couple of ideas on these things and then give you the like homework to maybe put this into your daily, like power hour, daily morning routine. Miracle Morning tells you to do this. When we get into that book, it'll tell you to make affirmations and create the affirmations around the things that you're struggling with. For me, like it was, I'm afraid of being successful because of this. And I had to turn it on. Like my version of success is me waking up each day, improving myself and helping at least one other person. That's my version of success. I'm rewriting it for myself and I'm creating a change in my mentality around what it is. So if your limitation is around time, the thing is like the people that usually have the time concern or the time, I don't want to say excuse, but the time limitation are the ones who probably can find the time to watch Netflix at night or to scroll their phone for hours. And I think the thing about this business is like we say power hour and people then are like, well, it's taking me all day. And it's because it's not intentional time. So if you have the hang up with time, like maybe one of your affirmations becomes, I am intentionally using my time to grow this business. And I'm going to set 30 minutes to an hour each day to do it. And that's all you do. You kill your newsfeed, you kill your social stuff. You literally just say, I'm inviting these 5 people today. I'm adding these 5 people today. I'm starting these 5 new conversations today. and I'm moving on and I'm going to live my life. And this is not going to control all day, every day, and make me feel like I, am wasting my time. And that for me was like a game changer, and I wasn't just sitting there scrolling and I wasn't like wasting a ton of time. I realized like, okay, I could literally start in the morning, make a list, invite all those people, and that's my day. And then of course, responding and carrying on conversations. I don't have to do it when I don't want to do it. I just do it as I can. And that shows them too that they could do this business without it controlling their lives. Number 2, on being a leader. I think this is a really hard one because I struggle with it constantly, but you have to kind of think about what you've done so far. 1, have you brought somebody in as a challenger and have you taught them to do exactly what you do as a challenger? If you can say yes to that, you're a leader. 2, if you brought a coach on and you've taught them how to see a transformation themselves, how to do a power hour themselves, how to maybe create their first Instagram story. Like if you've done any of these things, you're a leader. And I think that we might have these grandiose ideas of what a leader is, and we think we don't measure up, but ultimately, like, it's a teacher. The moment you start this business and the moment you bring in your first challenger, you're a leader. And it's not this, like huge expectation that you knock it out of the park. It's just really like you do exactly what you would want done for you as you're going through it. The number 3 thing I think was said was like being authentic or being likable. I think if you take gratitude as the approach versus that like insecurity, like look at the people in your life that love you. Look at the people in your life that would call you their great friend, that would look at these people on here, like we're talking to each other about how like, Kelly says she's afraid of not being likable. And Courtney's like, what? Girl, I like you, whatever. Like these are the people that can lift you up and show you like clearly there are people out there for you. Like this is your tribe and you have more people out there that are part of your tribe too. And so maybe if you think that you're not likable or not authentic, you start your day like I am true to myself and I'm going to put my truth out there and I'm going to come from a loving place with other people and, whatever it is, but like create something that really speaks to that and helps you live up to it. Because I think that if you say it each day, then you'll feel it. You ultimately will feel it. Number 4, I think was said was this is not a real business. And ultimately, I think that the fact that you can enroll for free in this and you just pay $16 a month makes people like totally, disregard it. They look at it as this really small thing. But this is your business, you guys. Like you can file a tax return each year and write off every deduction that there is. The IRS considers it a business. Your significant other maybe doesn't consider it a business yet, but as you start to grow, it becomes a business. You have to believe right off the bat that you are the CEO of this business, that you are the person who is putting this business like out there and you're going to grow it to get these things that you want in 5 years. Because if you don't take it seriously, no one else is going to take it seriously. So I think you first, like developing that belief in this for yourself is huge. Maybe you need to read more business personal development books. Maybe you need to watch some Gary Vee or Tony Robbins or whatever to make yourself believe that. But this is something real and legitimate. And the fact that you can do it for $16 a month makes you one of the smartest business people out there because you didn't go invest a ton of overhead into something and spend a ton of money on something to make it grow. I know Megan just mentioned her husband's business. His business, I'm sure, costs a lot more money to run than this does. So maybe you're the smarter business person here, like you have the ability literally to spend $16 to make unlimited amounts of money. Congratulations, you are the smartest business person out there, I think. And if you look at it that way and you can really be proud of it, that makes you be able to go and share it with the next person that much easier. So I think kind of learning like the potential with this, studying the people that have really done a lot with it, and then saying each day, like I have a business. And maybe you say, like, I have a 5-figure business. I have a 6-figure business. I have a 7-figure business because that's ultimately what you want. That will train you to actually take the action steps to get there. And then I think the last thing that was said was, like, failure. People are not going to want to buy from me. And a lot of that really comes from, like, maybe putting more faith in the product than you're putting in yourself. Like we don't sell Beachbody, you guys. We are Beachbody coaches. We've decided to partner with Beachbody because we believe in their products, but we believe in us first and we are offering ourselves to other people. If you lead with the product, you're not showing the value of yourself. And showing up each day or waking up each day and saying like, I'm enough, I'm worth it, I'm a badass, whatever it takes, I think will get you to that point. And yes, I mean, I like wake up every day and I say these things to myself. I'm successful. I will not fail. These things that I almost have to say to myself to make myself go do the action. But ultimately, if somebody says no to me, I look at that as like somebody I can go address in another month, another 2 months, another 3 months. And if they say like, leave me alone, I'm like, oh, it's too bad. You're really going to miss out. This is going to be so fun. We cannot put our self-worth in what somebody else is saying. And I think Rachel Hollis says like somebody else's opinion of me is none of my business. I think you have to be working on your confidence daily, but do not let somebody else control your self-worth and how you feel about yourself. So I want to just challenge you maybe to take those like negative things and literally turn them and say it each day and write it each day in your journal or whatever it is that you do, and start to reprogram that, because that ultimately affects how you operate in life. Like if you think you're going to fail at this, you probably have that same feeling about some other things going on. If you think that you're inauthentic at this, you probably have that thought about some other things going on. And I think the more that you work on those, like the more that your life obviously can improve, and it can kind of overflow into those things. Now, the last thing that I want to do, and I just want to like do this as like a final takeaway because I know we're at the hour, is based on where you want to be in life, and the only thing that's holding you back, which you just said, that's bullshit. This is how it was said to me. Based on where you want to go in life, and the one thing that's holding you back that is clearly bullshit because of everything that we just talked about, what should you be doing by the end of the year to where you want to get in that 5 years? So what is it that you can do today, what you could do in the next few months to help you get to that 5-year plan? And I just want to kind of like let us do like a little quick fire, if you will, where you just say one thing, like just focus on one thing that you can take away from this to say, I'm going to stop letting this hold me back. And here's the one activity that I've been putting off, or here's the one thing that I've been like preventing me from really doing it to get what I want. And it could also be like, what is the one thing you're not doing each day to get where you want to be in your business? Like maybe if your numbers aren't where you want to be, or your income isn't where you want to be, what's that one thing that's holding you back and that you're going to work on? And I'll tell you, like, for me, honestly, it was like, literally, like if I get a yes in each day, I'll almost just stop because I'm like, oh, that person signed up. Don't need to do anything else, whatever. And I just said, like, I'm going to keep going. Like whatever I say I'm going to do at the beginning of the day is going to get done regardless of how successful that day is or how unsuccessful that day is, because that stuff ultimately snowballs into more success later on. And the same thing with like getting the Success Club each month. I'm not going to just stop working because I'm where I want to be. I'm going to keep pushing as if like I want to hit it again and again and again. So that was mine. If you guys want to kind of go like quickly and then we'll wrap up.
Mine is show up every day. Easy.
I love it.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Mine would be reach out to people every day.
Mine would be to continue to work the business even on days where I'm kind of grumpy and not in a good mood, where I don't want to help anybody, much less myself.
Mine would be just to stop like putting it off for the day until the end of the day, and just to get off your ass and just fucking do it. I mean, that's just like that.
Maybe you should record on your voice recorder that and then like, play it to yourself.
I think did it to Heather's. I'm the same way. Just do it. You know what to do. You know the daily behaviors. Put everything in it. Stick to your list. Send it out. Post it out. Get it done.
I'm kind of like with Sarah, with the whole continuing and not just stopping, because I've caught myself before SD5 and being like, up, I'm good. I mean, or SD10, up, I'm good. And still like continuing to push through and being more consistent of showing up every day, not doing much one day and then like totally making up for it the next day and like, you know, doubling the invites that day or whatever, and stuff. So that's kind of like mine.
Cal is wearing no pants currently. Okay, who wants to go next?
Can't see them, so you're good.
I guess just being consistent and actually looking at who, making lists as far as who liked posts and then reaching out to those people and just, doing what I need to do.
Okay. Can I just check all of the above?
Mom, is that you? And
What's the one thing, Amber? Let's just say one thing.
Okay.
Mom.
Well, just to keep showing up and doing it. Like, I finally made a list, and I even categorized it by like who I think would be nutrition and who would want nutrition and fitness, who just would want some personal development encouragement. Like, and so actually doing what I need to do, I sent out my first invite, or reached out to someone probably last week after Sarah called me out. I was like, well, how many people have you talked to and invited? And I'm like, none, because I was chicken. So
How many people are on your list?
Oh gosh, it's like 3 or 4 pages that I divided it up into, or more than that actually.
Okay.
So it's a lot.
So you should just say you're going to start sending 5 a day.
Mommy, look what I'm going to do my movie.
All right, I got something to hold you to now.
Mommy.
Okay, Nicole, did you go?
Mom.
I did not. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm a little insecure about my muted self. Okay. So I really like what I heard in everybody else's, and I think ultimately it's just doing it. I need to just kind of put the fear aside and just find out what happens when I do something and push forward regardless of how I feel about it and what fears I have, because I don't think that's going to change until I do it. So that's mine.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll let us go. Sorry. I would love to see, though, if you guys want to take your 2 things. Take your limiting belief and turn it into a positive statement for yourself, to work on reprogramming that. And then 2, because, Hal, please stop. We were supposed to stay on a little longer and do a post and some invites. I'm not going to be able to do it. But I don't know if you guys have seen, please stop for a second. Courtney Bell or one of my success partner, Krista Hunt, they literally took their face and wrote out their 5-year, 1-year, whatever goals and visions. If you have not made ever a coaching post, I would encourage you to maybe you take a picture of yourself and put some of your goals up there, and you make one of your first coaching posts, and say how this is maybe going to be a vehicle to get you there. And it doesn't have to be, Beachbody coaching, but just say you you maybe have found something in your life that is helping drive you towards what your plan is for your life. And maybe you map it out and you show people, and use it as a post idea. And what they did was they took a picture of their face and they just had words like debt-free, vacations with my family, Europe in 2 years, whatever it was, and multiple things even. And they made a post out of it. And I thought it was really inspirational and kind of cool. So if you want to, maybe if you've never done a vision board or you've never put this out on paper and writing or put it out into the universe, maybe that's something to think about doing. I usually do my coaching call to actions on Sunday nights. I'll make a coaching post, and then 2 days during the week I'll do at least a light coaching post, maybe not an actual call to action. So think about doing that. My days are usually Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Mommy.
1 second, please. But thanks for coming tonight, guys. I hope this was helpful for some of these things. I do feel like it's a constant work in progress. We all are, obviously. But know that, like, whatever you want, you can go make happen. I've seen so many success stories in this business of the people that are the underdogs, the people that have lack of confidence, so much fear, and they find confidence within this, and they can go make their vision a reality. So I hope you guys will know that you can do the same thing. Thanks for coming, and I love you guys very much. Can you say bye?
Hi, Powell.
Bye.
Do you have no pants on? We're so excited.
No. Okay.
No. I dig it, bro.
Hal loves to be nude.
Listen, everybody should be more free.
Well, at least you're inside the house. My 7-year-old
Right.
was walking around naked in front of the house. The other
Oh, he
day.
does that
That
too.
was
He
nice.
does that too.
The babysitter was like, I think he's naked. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked.
No shame for these guys. See, they don't even know what a limiting belief is. Channel them.
No, they don't.
Right.
Do you remember riding rides at the fair when you were like, no fear, and now you're like, absolutely not? They put that up in a day.
Yep.
Kind of the same thing.
Wasted on the youth.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, happy Monday. And I can't wait to see if you want to post under the recording what your new affirmation is going to be. That'll be awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Bye,
Okay.
guys. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.